Hey guys, how are you all today? I hope you're all in fine fettle. So today I'm down on the plot, but I'm going to be going to the kitchen later because I'm just going to show you something. Nice and gently bring you round. Now, what do you see here? If your answer is an abandoned plot, you'd be quite correct. It's a bit sad in a way actually because, sorry, I was just dipping down to pick something up. The owner or the tenant of this plot has had to give it up. Such a shame, and we haven't got a new incumbent yet. And in the meantime, the committee were getting a bit worried about all the weeds, that it's getting a bit rampant. And I said to the committee member who was talking to me about it, I said, what weeds? There are no weeds here. Here is quite simply, where are you all? A foraging opportunity. So basically the committee are a bit concerned about this plot is absolutely covered in dandelions. God, it's so bright and beautiful today. It's absolutely covered in dandelions, which are coming into flower, and the committee are concerned that they're going to go to seed and blow across the whole site, which they don't want. So I said, with your permission, if it's okay, I will go and try and solve that problem for you by picking myself a free harvest. So here I am with my baskets. What I'm going to do, also with this plot, I should just say, the foxes don't really play here much. So although I will pick and wash everything, oh look how lush they are, I won't really have to do much to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on with picking now, and I will see all of you back in the shed, or in the kitchen maybe, in a little while. So get out there, enjoy the sunshine, and I will join you back in a few minutes. So I'm back in the shed. I hope the camera can pick this up because it's actually so bright today that I can't see the screen to see if it's picking up, but I think it is. So I've just picked a few for now because it's going to take me an hour or so to pick that whole plot, but I've picked myself some flowers and some leaves, and I can't wait to get stuck into them. Now, I tend to drink quite a bit of dandelion tea, but I never make my own, which is absolutely crazy. So I'll ignore the airplane going overhead. So I'm going to have a go with some of the leaves. I'm actually going to dry them to use for tea. The rest I'll keep a handful as fresh. I'll pick them fresh over the next few days as I normally would, and use them in my breakfast smoothies. So the leaves are a great thing in your breakfast smoothie if you've run out of spinach or kale, that sort of thing. You can also have them as a salad. Just toss them in with your salad. Yum, yum, yum. Or cook them as you would kale. So again, if you've got a recipe that you like that's a kale recipe, but you've run out of kale, then grab yourself a handful of dandelion leaves and chop those in instead. The flowers, oh, they have so many uses. You can actually make wine from them. Now at the moment, I haven't made wine for years and years and years, so I don't have any kit in terms of the demijohns and bottles and what have you. I'm going to be looking on FreeCycle to see if I can pick some up, because then I can start making my own wine. But in the meantime, what I'll do with the flowers, everything's going to have a wash. I will then let the flowers dry, and much as I did with the calendula, I will then pluck all the petals off, set them to one side and have them as tea. So they're both great as tea. The leaf as a tea is quite bitter, so you would probably want to maybe add a teaspoon of honey to it. The flowers as tea, really, really mild flavour, really, really mild taste. You could Actually, what's really nice with dandelion flower tea is a squeeze of lime. So if you're lucky enough to have a lime tree, which I'm not, get squeezing your lime. Okay, so the thing about dandelions, I'm going to lift you up here now so we can have a chat face to face. So they have a little nickname in French, pissenlit, which is so charming, isn't it? Which means, as most of you, I'm sure everyone knows, means wet the bed. Now, contrary to popular belief, picking dandelions will not make you wet the bed. However, there is some truth in that name because they act as a diuretic. What that means is they help flush excess water from you. So they will make you wee a lot. So if you're using dandelions at all, you do need to make sure that you stay hydrated. Whether it's a cup of tea, weak without milk of course, preferably just plain old water, a couple of litres a day. But that property, that diuretic property, is actually really, really useful. It helps the kidneys to be flushing out, keeps the bladder going, as it were. It's been shown that dandelions can help prevent UTIs, urinary tract infections, almost certainly because of that property of making you go and go and go, so nothing's sitting around getting hinky. Now the problem with weeing a lot is the way the kidneys work, we excrete a lot of our electrolytes. I don't want to get too physiological with you, but things like sodium, salt, potassium, all those things get lost with wee. Sodium's not so much of an issue because we tend to all have too much anyway. Potassium can be a problem. However, the dandelion has come up with an answer for that. It makes you wee a lot, but it's really high in potassium, so actually it sort of balances itself out. And the other great thing about the potassium is we need potassium for our heart health, for our blood pressure. It's really important in muscle contractility. They've been shown to actually help reduce high blood pressure. They're also great, so they're great for your kidneys, great for your heart, great for your blood pressure. They're also great for your liver because having dandelion in your diet can help suppress the accumulation of the fatty deposits in the liver. They can also help flush out the waste. Our liver is basically a waste organ, if you like, so it can help to get rid of those wastes. They're shown to increase bile production, which is also part of our whole sort of digestive system. Basically, it's all to do with having a poo and getting rid of things. So they're absolutely fantastic. What other use? I mean, that's the main thing is a kidney and liver tonic. They're brilliant. Whether you're having them as salad leaves or having them as tea. I would say don't expect to eat a couple of dandelion leaves and fix your fatty liver if you don't make other adjustments in your diet. You can't expect to have a really rubbish diet, drink too much alcohol, etc., and fix it all with a cup of dandelion tea. That ain't going to work. You have to change your diet and those other habits and supplement it with the dandelion. But as with any of these things, well, the first thing to say is unless you're absolutely sure in identifying your plant, please just don't go to random hedgerows and pick things and eat them, because unless you're absolutely sure, you could be doing yourself more harm than good. But otherwise, forage away, feast away, enjoy. To me, it's sunshine in a basket. So I'll be looking forward to cracking into this lot. As I say, I haven't before now. With the leaves, I've tended to pick them fresh to put in a smoothie, so I've never tried drying them for tea. I'm just wondering, I'm thinking the shed is normally quite warm. I'm wondering whether to spread them out on racks in the shed to dry here, because it's also quite a dry warmth, or whether they need to be dried more quickly and maybe in the oven on a low heat overnight. Not really so keen to do that because then I'm using electricity and that's kind of something I want to avoid. So I think what I'll do for now is I'll put some in the shed and see if they dry sufficiently in the shed for me to then store for tea, and if they do, then I'll pick loads and loads more for tea. I'm pretty certain the flower heads will, because I tried it last year with the calendula. And in the meantime, I'll just keep picking the odd fresh leaf for my smoothies in the morning. I kind of have, I put them with oats and some fruit berries, a splash of apple juice or carrot juice, that sort of thing. Oh, the other thing to say, because I'm thinking about porridge now, they've also been shown to help lower cholesterol by reducing, we talk in terms of the bad and the good cholesterol, or the bad and the good fats. They reduce the bad fat and increase the good fat. So all in all, it's an absolute cracker. And what I love about all this, I'm getting excited now, I get so excited about these things shuffling my bum. For me, I love the, how to put it, the folklore. I love the kind of the hand-me-down knowledge, so what my grandparents taught me, their grandparents taught them. So I've long been a fan of using dandelions. I like how it tastes, but also I've known about its diuretic properties since I was a child, so it's great to do it. But the other part of me, the kind of the science nerd, so if you like, there's this kind of folklore-y girl on one side, but I'm also a nerd, a science nerd. And what really excites me is I've noticed increasingly over the last few years there's more sort of, if you like, legitimate research going on. So the white coats in the labs doing research on these different plants to really look at the medicinal properties they have, the nutritional properties. I know what effect I get. I don't need to find that in a book, but it kind of excites me that these things are in a way being acknowledged. So these things that our forefathers and mothers have known for generations and generations, they're getting a bit of proof now. So finally, when I tell my non-dandelion eating friends about this and they think I'm some hippy-dippy crank, I can say, aha, actually, the University of Maryland have just completed a 10-year study, blah, blah, blah. So what I would say is, I'm going to just give you one final look because they're so gorgeous. Get out there, as long as you've identified them, get out and enjoy your little basket of sunshine. Isn't that so pretty? So for now, I'll say cheerio, and I'll catch up with you all really soon. Take care.